All right, well, I guess these Browns might be better without OBJ, but our problems have not ended. We're going to New England to face Bill and the Patriots. Uh, we will have some challenges. Nick Chubb and Demetric Felton out with COVID. Hopefully, it stops there. But Eric, great win against the Bengals. Very positive. We were on a cliff there. We've gotten off. We're back on track, and a winnable game here in New England.
Yeah. So I mean, we're facing an opponent that is kind of the jack of all trades, master of none, at least offensively. You got your rookie quarterback Mac Jones, 2135 yards passing. That's just under 240 per game, 10 touchdowns, 7 interceptions over 9 games, just averaging around a touchdown to interception per game. I understand he's a rookie, but it's the definition right now of a game manager. Not to put him in a spot where he has to potentially win the game, put him in a spot where he just doesn't have to lose the game. Their rushing attack has 961 yards, just over 107 yards per game, and 11 touchdowns. So again, decent numbers, but nothing like the Browns' running attack. So they're going to rely heavily on their defense to win the games and to force those mistakes. If you look to see what they did their last 3 contests, they forced 8 turnovers in those and all victories. So I mean, I think that's a recipe for success. That being said, Baker has to play another smart game. By that I mean distribute the ball around, avoid pressure and the mental mistakes that could accompany those. Looking at the box score of their last game, the Panthers put up 172 rushing yards against the Patriots last week. So Dearness Johnson and whoever else is joining him in the backfield has a chance to have a big game. I know Christian McCaffrey is a very good running back, but I couldn't tell you how good their offensive line is. I know the Browns have a very good one, so I'm hoping we have a lot of good opportunities to kind of, put Baker in the offense in good and easy situations, especially in second and third down. A very unique statistic for this game is that the Patriots are 1-4 at home and 4-0 at the road. So whatever reason they can't get it done at home. They have played the Cowboys and Buccaneers at home, which are 2 very good teams, but they also played the Saints and Dolphins, which are 2 not as good teams, which they both lost to. The only win was against the Jets, which they also beat on the road. So, hopefully that continues this week. Like I said, I don't know whatever the reason is, but we'll strike where the iron's hot. And last but not least, I think I personally have 2019 revenge on the mind. I remember that game going into Foxborough. We were showing the early season, a couple abnormalities. We're going to get back on track, and it kind of went downhill fast. So I'm hoping that Baker gets revenge because his one receiver, number 13, gave goat shoes to the other team's quarterback, which is pretty embarrassing if you ask me. He is the best of all time, but that's very 12-year-old to like a senior of the football team kind of thing, in my opinion. Teach their own. And the other thing is that I really wish Nick Chubb can play in this game because he had 2 fumbles in that contest, which is very on Nick Chubb-like. Lost them both. So hopefully he can get his revenge that way, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next few days. But it's like Ryan said, it's a very winnable game, and I really like our chances against rookie quarterback. However, they have a very good coach, so it's going to be a nice little chess match between Belichick and Stefanski.
All right, we were talking about there are rumors that OBJ might be interested in the Patriots, maybe not at the top of his list, but there's a chance that he shows up this Sunday, albeit a slim chance. So, Drew, my question to you, just like when Belichick and Brady got back together, there were bets on, is it a hug? Is it a handshake? What happens with Baker and OBJ? They meet in the middle of the field. Are they going to hug each other? Are they going to hug it out? Are they going to not see each other? What happens with this awkward encounter if it does happen?
Yeah, I actually heard it was the other way around, that Bill Belichick is really interested in acquiring the services of one Odell Beckham Jr. But the
Okay.
We have not heard if that interest is mutual. It's not. The Patriots are not on the list of the teams that Odell Beckham is reportedly pursuing or investigating further. So we'll see if Bill Belichick is able to persuade him. I'm sure he can be a fairly persuasive guy, although he doesn't have to usually sell the New England Patriots. It's more like, hey, we want you to sign here. Okay, no problem, right? So, we'll see what comes of it. At some point, I assume that the Baker Mayfield Browns will play whatever team Odell is on. I don't know that to be true. If he goes to the NFC, it could be 4 years from now, so who knows? But I think at some point that will happen, and if I were to sort of take bets on it, I bet there would be some sort of acknowledgement, some sort of hug or handshake of some sort. These two are friends. They play video games together. They worked out together in the off season. They're close from what I can tell. It just very clearly didn't work out here. For whatever reason, sometimes two people just don't gel at work, on the field, whatever it is, right? Sometimes, if you had to work with one of your friends, you might not get your best work done. I don't know if that's the case here or not. I can't explain why this didn't work out on the field, but it didn't. But I don't think there's any sort of ill will here. I think the Browns did right by Odell. They worked the contract to where he could get some money, get his release. I don't think he has any ill will or any hate sort of in his heart for anybody really from the Browns. A bunch of his friends play for the Browns. It just didn't work out. And what can you do? I think as they showed in Cincinnati that they can be a very good offense without him. Much tougher test on Sunday, though. Some really good players for New England: J.C. Jackson, Christian Barmore, Damian Harris, Matthew Judon. Really solid defense and a good running back. It'll be a challenge for the Browns on Sunday.
All right, so I guess we're both going with a hug between Baker and OBJ, but Drew,
I think so.
Drew being very positive on the relationship there. I like it for this podcast. All right, let's finish up here real quick. Eric, key performer for this game when the Browns win.
Well, I see kind of like a Pittsburgh light for the Patriots that, they're, again, kind of relying on their defense, not going strong in their offense. So we need to really get after their offense and do what we couldn't do against the Steelers, is force those turnovers. So I think Belichick's going to try his best to avoid Denzel Ward, meaning Greg Newsome II will be in the spotlight, and he's my key performer. I would love to see him finally get an interception and preferably take it back to the house the way Denzel Ward did. Maybe not 99 yards, but if we can get a decent one and, just kind of make their passing lanes very difficult, that'd be a good recipe for success.
Drew, Browns win, key performer. Who was it?
I'm awful at this, Ryan. I don't know why the crystal ball doesn't work for this, but it really doesn't. So my key performer, I'm going to go Jarvis on this one. I think J.C. Jackson is probably going to be matched up against Donovan Peoples-Jones. I don't expect a huge day for him. So I think Jarvis has the ability to beat a lot of that creative zone defense that they like to run. I think that's where he thrives. I think he'll get open. I can see him going out there for something like 8 receptions and somewhere into 85 to 100 yards receiving. So I'm going to go Jarvis Landry.
It's not difficult when you pick the same player every single week, and that's why I'm going with Baker Mayfield. He had an awesome game last week. He is finally back on track. Baker going to continue that hot streak. No pressure on who to get the ball to. Read the field, find who's open, have a very strong running game. Dearness Johnson hopefully going to have a second act to his awesome game that he opened with, and a big Browns win in New England.